All right, in today's video, I'm going to share with you everything you need to know about crushing Black Friday and Cyber Monday as a D2C e-commerce brand. And this is a distillation of over 4 years of doing this. I've been running an email marketing agency called Aura Seed for the last 4 years. I won't be crass and tell you the revenue we're doing because I'm just not about that. But what I will say is we're in the top 1% of email agencies. We've got over 35 clients on retainer. 90% of them are multi-seven-figure brands. We've got perfect reviews on Trustpilot. I think nearly 42 reviews of pure 5-star reviews. And we're really, really good at what we do. So you can probably infer whereabouts we are as an agency authority-wise just from that. And it's not just my opinion on everything as well. This is not just our experience, but this is also the fruit of an exercise I did over the last couple of weeks where I went and studied 4 brands I really, really love. We've got Set Active here, which are an LA-based activewear brand. We've got Allbirds, which are by all accounts one of the fastest growing D2C brands on the market right now. We've got Rode, which is, I think, Hailey Bieber's beauty brand. They've got some great marketing and they didn't even really run an offer as well. So that's a really nice outlier brand that I've included there. And then we've got Misoma, which is a really cool jewelry brand that I just think get it right by for many different reasons. And I'm going to share the link to this, but honestly, I nerd out on D2C marketing. This is not like building an agency was never just about making money for me. I love creative. I love filmmaking. I love brand. I love sales. I love marketing. I love everything about this. And I'm sure you can see this from the level of detail that I go in here. So I would really love for you to get value out of this. My team and my clients have absolutely loved devouring all of the information here, and I want you guys to get this value as well. So I'm going to share this for you. But what you'll see is I've literally annotated every email they broke down last year, from non-discount emails to when they started their sale, to when they started doubling up and even tripling up on certain days, to resets post Cyber Monday sale. I broke down their offer mechanics, their cadence and send strategy, how they mixed up content, styles, editorial style emails, special inserts, etc., things like that. Oops. I went into their copywriting principles, so like different subject lines that I observed, where it's curiosity hooks, identity framing, urgency, playful, direct clarity, etc. Design systems that you can use, psychological levers, and then I distilled lessons that I just thought were clear from looking at their whole funnel. And I did this for both Allbirds, Set Active, Misoma, and Rode. And then I broke those down into 8 core pillars. So I've actually presented this both in the Miro and in a Canva deck to all of my team. We've done a thorough training around all of this. We do it every year. And I also did it on a syndicate call, which is essentially a private network we have with all of our e-commerce brands, 7 to 8 figure e-commerce brands, some multi-6-figure brands who are close to that 7-figure mark. I'll hop on that call as well. And every week we meet up and we talk about and we share insights and knowledge around everything to do with D2C marketing, whether it be content creation, influencer marketing, supply chain. And on this particular meeting, it was Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It was on me to lead the training, and the message, the feedback on that was incredible. Everyone said it was highly impactful. They were very, very happy that we were batting for them as their e-com agency. And I'm not going to gatekeep any information here. I wish when I started this agency 4 years ago, when I was in Brighton in England, working in my apartment co-work space from around 7 till like 7, 12-hour days, also working on weekends because I had a full-time job at the time, I would have wished someone dropped this in there, because there's so many agencies that gatekeep information, have conflicting information, and it just used to stress me out so much. So this is hard fought for insight, and take confidence in this is not just what's working for all of our 7-figure brands, but this is literally this is an amalgamation of the best principles that 4 of the fastest growing D2C brands globally are following. So like, if you can get your head around this, you've completed email. This is it. Like it doesn't get better than this. So this is everything you need to play email at the highest level. So hopefully that gets you excited, and we're going to jump straight into things. So let me present. There we go. Look at that, guys. In we go. So November and December archetypal calendar. I said archetypal because I have a propensity to be verbose with my language. I like flowery language, but really what does archetype mean? It means a pattern that can be observed. And I want to share with you a pattern, an archetypal calendar you can use for both November and December. 23 emails for November, 20 emails for December. Now, if you're planning on running your BFCM sales or your Black Friday sales for the whole of November, you might need to change the strategy a little bit, but take confidence in you can just make edits here depending on how long you want to run your sale for. But for the most part, I actually do recommend starting, really the sale here is going on for like 3 to 4 weeks, with the early access starting on the third week of December, and then Black Friday or Cyber Monday sort of ending mid first week of December. So you're still going to get plenty of run rate here. And I actually am a big fan of this because we start off with 2 to 3 emails a week. You can do 3 emails a week if you want, add an extra one in on the Sunday here, for example. And what you want to start doing at the beginning is this play is really about getting as much mental real estate from your customer as possible and planting seeds for them to spend money with you once the sale period starts. Because you've got to think about it. People only have so much money and they only have so much bandwidth. So you want to make sure within the first couple of weeks of November, you're sending the kind of emails that get people excited to spend their money with you and start to go, I'm actually going to buy my Christmas gifts from that brand this Black Friday, or oh yeah, I remember that brand, and I really love those products. And Black Friday's around the corner. I'm gonna go buy with them this December. And they go and tell their wife or their husband that, oh, I'm gonna go get that hoodie from Set Active on Black Friday. That's awesome. I'm just gonna wait 2 more weeks. That's what you want to be doing with, and that's how consumers work. So that's what you want to be doing within the first 2 to 3 weeks. So I've got non-discount email, non-discount email. We can get into what you can do with these non-discount emails a little bit later. I've got some awesome advice for you guys. But what we want to do then is on the third week, we want to start getting early access. Start with a teaser and then a launch. So you can double up with a plain text there if you want as well. It could be really, really effective. Then you want to have the launch, couple that with an SMS or a WhatsApp, early access again, then a bit of urgency around the early access, and then you want to launch it. You want to have 2 emails on the launch day officially. Then you want to have a Thanksgiving email. That could be plain text as well, especially if you're US based. 2 Black Friday emails, 2 Black Friday emails, 3 Black Friday emails. And a lot of this is going to be closing, closing, closing. And you can throw an SMS there. Then you can have an extension here. I might even change that to extension. Then we want to have 2 Cyber Monday emails, another Monday email the next day, and then 3 the next day. And again, you can play with these. You could go 2, 2, 2. You could do 3, 2, 2. 3, 2, 1. You could really play with it, but this is the pattern I really, really like and I've settled on. And this is pretty much what we're going to be running for our brands. This is the top package. Keep in mind, if you're a brand who's just, I do think it's worth prefacing this. This is like the top package for our brands. Like if you're a smaller brand, just do a scaled down version of this and that's fine. What should be, again, reassuring it, this is what the top brands are doing. So again, if you can wrap your head around this, I'm trying to demystify it because a lot of agency owners like to mystify things. A, because they don't really understand it and they haven't done it themselves. And B, because also it's good marketing to mystify, to make things seem abstract. Because then you're like, oh, bloody hell, I'm going to have to pay you to do it. And you might still do that with us, and I recommend it. But if, again, this is all for free. This is all for free right now. So this is what I'm going to leave the link for you guys as well, so you can just sort of download this in your own time. Then we go into Christmas. We want really nice seasonal themed emails. This is about creating a feeling, creating nostalgia, having more holiday themed emails, and really starting to get, again, reminding people to purchase gifts and starting to infuse seasonal themes within our creative, shipping cutoff reminders, adding a bit of urgency around that, because that's a really honest way of driving urgency, because we all have shipping cutoff reminders. Customers need to know about that. So you need to get those in there. And what I really recommend doing then is starting to plan out like your non-discount email here, your Xmas Eve email, maybe a founder-led Xmas Day email, Christmas Day email, where you wish everyone a Merry Christmas on behalf of the founders. Christmas Eve, you might want to do a roundup of the last 2 months, like a founder's roundup. That could be really, really nice. And you want to schedule these emails so you guys can actually have a nice 7 to 10 days off, maybe even 2 weeks off over Christmas. Enjoy yourself, kick back, and get ready to crush 2026 and break some records with revenue and make a lot of money the next year. And also celebrate a really, really successful and profitable November, December. That is our hope for all of you. So let's go to offer strategy first, because this is key. This is what we've had one-to-one consultations with every brand owner here, helping them ideate what their offer is and giving our 2 cents around that. Here are some of the patterns observed and our personal recommendations, having done this for 4 years. So anchor around one core offer is the fundamental idea here. So Masoma stuck relentlessly to 40% off everything. Allbirds went for 30% off everything, but then they escalated to 50% off. Set Active did exactly the same thing, and they did 30% off to 50% off, but they also framed it and anchored it with up to 80% off. So a lot of you might have certain SKUs that you're actually looking to move, maybe old outlet SKUs that you're willing to price up and within the sale and add additional percentages off. That could be really, really helpful because it can anchor your total or can frame your total Black Friday sale in a really sexy way. So if, for example, you look at Set Active here, let me go back, 30% off everything up to 80% off. So now that's really, really appealing. I mean, 80% off, that's almost free. So people are going to definitely click on that, and then people are going to be in your ecosystem, in your website, and then they're going to be placing orders. So I really, really like that as well. We recommend keeping things simple. Pick one core anchor offer. So site-wide percentage off works really nicely. A bundle deal or maybe a tiered discount, like 2 to 3 deals. Our fundamental philosophy is if a customer has to start doing mental arithmetic in their head, you've already lost them. People have short attention spans. If the offer is complicated, it's not going to be attractive. It's as simple as that. And you also want to think about your marketing team here. Like, you don't want to make things complicated to market because that's going to just be a bottleneck. And marketing is what's going to make you tons of money. So if you can make it really fun and easy to market, you can have higher and more effective marketing, and you're probably going to get better results than having like really more like weird and nuanced deal structures here. So you don't need to get super flashy and fancy with your deals. Take comfort in the fact that brands doing a lot more revenue than you probably are at the moment, who are doing 40 or 50 million a year, are doing site-wide sales off. Like, that's cool. So make it simple, make it obvious. You want to repeat it consistently though. Repetition, repetition, repetition. If you feel like, we've been saying that every email, don't stress. Let me go back here. Let me go back here. If you look at Allbirds, for example, and we zoom into some of their sales. Look, 30% off, 30% off, 30% off everything, 30% off everything. Clock is ticking, 50% off everything, 50% off everything. Like, they're not shy and they're not afraid to repeat their offer, repeat their offer, repeat their offer. Okay. So that is a core detail, repetition. But the key detail is if you want to use framing shifts. So one core offer, the way you make it engaging is framing shifts. So early access is a framing shift. VIP is a framing shift. Ends tonight is a framing shift. So rather than introducing multiple offer promos that actually dilute clarity, just shift the framing in your offer. So you can, like, all of that makes the offer seem unique, but it's the same offer. It's just how you framed it. Then you want to escalate the offer towards the end of the sale. That can work really, really well. So you might ask about that, and I've got another slide around this, escalation. Lovely. So escalation and urgency phases. So here's the pattern I observed of all of these core brands. Every brand layered urgency. So early access, sale goes live, final hours, extension, reset. So our recommendation is to map out urgency phases in advance. Now, with the archetypal calendar I shared at the beginning, you've already got the dates and the framework and the amount of emails. Then you just sort of need to plot this into it, especially over that sales cycle. Should be really intuitive. So tease is when I say coming soon. Launch is obviously when the offer is live. Mid-cycle reminders, so don't miss out. Maybe bestsellers, things of that nature, with the offer being super clear in every email. Final push, so a bit of urgency, ends tonight. That's usually should be on like the Saturday, I would say. Then extension, surprise, extra day. That could be on the Sunday. Then you got another 24 hours to squeeze out sales. And then you want to do Cyber Monday. Then you want to reset, pivot back to brand tone post sale. This is usually going to be around the 4th or 5th of December. And again, I'll show you some examples of this. Really, really effective. So non-discount campaigns and creative plays. So obviously, like, in the build-up, we've got loads of non-discount emails. We're planting the seed for our customers and starting to get them excited about spending their money with us this Black Friday. What kind of emails do we want to be sending here? Gift guides are obviously a big one, but let's be creative with our gift guides. And I think Set Active gave an incredible example of how to get creative with a standard gift guide email. So instead of just sending the one email around gift guides, they created 4 to 5 different customer avatars. The hot mum being one of them, the jet setter being another one, the Gym Goer being another one. And these were back to back. Like, I think they did 4 or 5 of these over the space of 10 days. They all looked very similar, but they created a customer avatar and then they gave a curated gift guide around that. Super genius. Gave them loads of content ideas and campaign collateral for like 10 days. So they're already sorted. And what's genius about this is it not only makes you think about purchasing for someone else, so making a purchase for your friend, your mum, your sister for December, for Christmas, but it also will most definitely give you inspiration for things you want to buy for yourself as well. So it hits two birds with one stone there, or as I like to say, feeds two birds with one hand. And I really think that's a good one that just about any brand can steal and do really well. I think about 100 brands can copy that idea of fundamentally creating 4 to 5 customer avatars that make sense for your company, then giving curated gift guides around that. I just think it's a genius idea, really good branding exercise, recommend stealing it. Editorial value content, so style guide, founders picks. So like if it's Dave and Richard who own whatever skincare brand, it could be Dave and Richard's top picks from this year, or it can be bestsellers from October, or what sold out last year. Founders picks are really, really nice. Seasonal rituals as well. So again, if you're a wellness brand, you're a skincare brand, lean into the time of year. How is the weather shifting? What are the vibes? If you're a fashion brand, how is the weather shifting? And lean into that mood and then give curated gift guides around that. Start to get people excited about purchasing your products and make it relevant, make it interesting, create emotion. Build trust before discounting is what you want to do. Remind people you're a quality brand and then hit them with the best sale they've ever seen. And for some certain brand owners, if you're like a big sustainable brand, for example, you don't really want to be doing a hell of a lot of discounting, or let's just say that Black Friday doesn't really align and you want to create a new alibi, well, you can go for that. Create an alternative narrative. Green Friday, how about? Or get creative. If discounting doesn't align with your brand, create your own positioning, sustainability, exclusivity, invest in quality, whatever it might be. Maybe give a higher charitable contribution to something. But whatever it is, you need to still make the most out of the way the culture views this time of year and gets ready to spend money, and you want to make the most of it in your own way, in a way that aligns with your values. So you can definitely do that, and we've got some brands that don't run offers and we think creatively like that. When it comes to December, gifting, storytelling, sensorial marketing, so Rode, you can learn a lot from these guys. Lean into feelings, cinnamon, gingerbread, wrapping, mood-driven creative. Like everything was felt festive here. It created a feeling like their tones just went to red into like greens and like Christmassy feel. It felt delicious. It felt Christmassy. It gave you nostalgic feeling of the holidays. That's what you want to be accomplishing here, and leaning into that will really just, if you create emotional hooks with customers, you've won. That's how marketing works. When people feel something with you, they remember you, and then they take actions. Gift shops, collections, the theme edits again for him, for her this Christmas, founders picks. All of these still make a load of sense. You can do roundups. You can do like founder-led emails this December, things like that as well. But the main detail is just making sure you're getting seasonal creative to your email team as well, so they can make best use of it this time of year. Emotional hooks, emphasize warmth, togetherness, nostalgia, different from urgency-driven November emails. Here are some other cool, unique levers we observed when I was breaking down all of these different funnels. So I think there's 5 of them here. So I saw Miss Soma, and you'll be able to see it within the Miro board that I shared, did a flash VIP sale like early November, way before the actual sale kicked off. So that was really, really interesting. I think it was like a surprise drop, 24 hours. And then it got me thinking, why would they have done this? And I think there are a few key reasons. One, it drives urgency and get some cash in the bank early on within November that they could probably then just funnel into ads. But secondly, I think it creates a dopamine spike and it creates expectations for customers that it sets the tone with your emails that, oh, we need to pay attention to this brand's emails because they're just dropping sales like crazy. Like if someone does something like that, you're like, oh, I better pay attention to those emails because interesting things are happening there. They're offering sales early, and you start to create a habit around paying attention to your emails in the run up to Black Friday. So you're already starting to win over some of that mental real estate. Clever. Try it. See how you get on. Pre-orders during BFCM, so quite a few of those brands actually had maybe new SKUs coming in December or January. So they used the they took advantage of the extra attention customers give their emails during this period and banked in pre-orders as well. So people are already spending money. They're a little bit trigger happy. Just, they're buying for Christmas. They're enjoying the sales. So then they drop in like a pre-order and maximize like pre-orders and like cash in the bank for their new drops that are coming in as well. And it also just adds novelty to the discounts. Like if you're only doing sales emails, you add a pre-order in there as well. It's an extra email, but it's a different look. It's a different feel. It's a bit of novelty, and it's a great way to add some diversification to your email. So if you've got a new product drop or you're going to do a pre-order, why not include that in a time where people are most attentive and most engaged with their emails and with your brand? So I think that's a really clever strategy. Another one we saw was stacked discount strategy. So core sale 30% off site wide, but use up to 70 or 80% off on selected SKUs. Kind of already said that one. It's just anchoring, but it's a powerful hook to increase click-throughs. Narrative control. Don't just follow the herd. Brands create their own spin on Black Friday, Green Friday. I've already spoken to that. And obviously have a clear reset plan for Cyber Monday. This is a big one. This is a really, really nice email that I think just about any brand can take. And I think Set Active absolutely crushed it with this. So I'm going to read it out. They did this so they did 3 days of Cyber Monday sending. Then the day after they sent this and they went out of office. It looked like a little handwritten note and they went, phew, okay, that was wild. So we're going dark for a sec. For the next few days, we're setting our out of office messages and closing the office to recharge for something epic up next. Oh, and before we log off, we're marking down the entire site to 20% off. Enjoy no marketing from us and have a second look at the latest drops, and don't stress. The sale isn't going anywhere for the next few days. We'll see you on Friday for a special announcement. Signed off by the founder. Genius on so many levels. It acknowledges the chaos, so it adds some personality. It gives breathing room, so it promises a short break, which again is like, it just adds a bit of a human, a bit of empathy to understanding like the nature of this time of year. It actually soft sells though. It lets people know the offer's still running without even saying there's a sale there in an aggressive, salesy way. So it's just a real nice like little breathing space. It creates some real nice breathing space while accomplishing so much. It feels human, teases the next drop. It just really is a great branding exercise. Accomplishes so much with but it's so easy to create that. So I just, again, think if you can create that in your own way and play around with that, I bet that got a lot of revenue, left a positive taste in the customer's mouth, and again, just continues to compound this idea that you're just a cool brand. Like you're just going to recommend a brand like that because it just talks in a cool, interesting way. And it's fun to receive emails from brands like this. So smart move this, really, really liked it. So how we're going to approach creatives with scale. And again, this is out to my fellow agency owners or any in-house marketers, because naturally you're probably going to be looking going, wow, the email volume is going to double over these 2 months. How are we going to manage that? And you don't need to overwhelm yourself. One thing I haven't included within this presentation is flows. So just in case you're curious to know what should we be doing with flows as well, I'm sure you see a lot of email marketers talking about building new flows for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I'm just going to give you some game here, which was again hard one. You don't need to go overboard and recreate every flow. Welcome, abandoned cart, checkout. What you need to do is you need to clone all of those flows, let's say within Figma. You want to remove any of the offers which contradict with the Black Friday, Cyber Monday offers. Get your designer to inject a bit of color and make it a little bit unique here and there. Should take you no longer than an hour. Then clone all of the flows within Klaviyo, map them out, and just make the timing a bit more aggressive on the abandoned cart, on the welcome flow. Make them a little shorter as well. If you do that, you're going to get 99% of the results without feeling like you have to go and build out an extra 40 new flows of brand new designs. It's just not worth it. Let your campaigns do the talking and do the selling, and flows are just there to not contradict things, to increase the aggressiveness with the timing. And that's all you need to do. Trust me. Trust me on that one. So we want to use visual systems though when it comes to creative, not one-off design. So here are some of the patterns we observed. And of course you've got place for one-off designs if your designer's got time, but set active recycled modular grids with color swaps. They use, for example, on that gift guide email, 5 emails there, all looks really, really similar, but they just changed the customer avatar. Genius. Allbirds use product first hero blocks pretty consistently. So like gradients were nice, but if you look at it, it's fairly similar. Like product, hero first product box consistently, offer really clear, CTAs usually one product, and then shop men, shop women, offer super clear. Like these emails don't actually take too long to design if you're a good email designer, and it's a great, so you can do these at volume. Misoma color coded urgency, so they went from green to red. So when we design for Q4, the goal isn't to lose your brand's DNA. So we already know it. If you've been sending emails for long enough, you probably already know what works from a design perspective. So the goal is to enhance it with seasonal creative that feels fresh and relevant. So sometimes you just want to simply just getting more seasonal creative. If your brand has done maybe like a Christmas photo shoot, just get those to your email team, and just getting those in and changing the colors will pretty much completely change the whole aesthetic of the email. This means weaving in unique BFCM and holiday color palettes, and maybe change the color palettes, decide on the color palettes for November and December. This could be a big one. Maybe Cyber Monday, you want to have a bit of a retro theme going on, or a unique feel for Cyber Monday as well. Let your designer have a bit of creative freedom there. GIFs are always going to be good visual anchors and visual hooks, subtle animated elements as well. So for example, having like the 50% off here just flashing will go a long, long way. And little things like understanding editorial layout, strong typography, and type hierarchy, again, goes a long way. So just instead of like this all being copy, they've got the nows time. So they've got a bolder subheader, and then they've got the body text, and then they've got the CTAs, and then they've probably got a scrolling banner here. Just little details to really elevate a design. Even if it's a simple style and structure, you can elevate it and make it look really, really cool, and make it way more engaging, essentially. So good design in this season balances excitement with clarity. It should feel festive, distinct, scroll-worthy, but never too cluttered or off-brand. The result is a cohesive look that captures seasonal moments while staying unmistakably you. That's our goal. And again, go study the Figma board that I've shared with you. Like, got everything you need there, honestly. Deliverability. Again, I once upon a time could do a whole hour chat on deliverability and how to optimize engagement throughout BFCM without hurting deliverability, and making sure as many people as possible are seeing your emails, because at the end of the day, you want to be sending to the whole list around, especially that core sales week, but you don't want to be tanking your deliverability. So here's all of the information you need to know, but condensed down to its core essentials. Sender reputation is critical during BFCM. Brands fight for the inbox attention, and some will email their entire list multiple times, risking spam folder placement. So you don't want to be doing that. If you just increase your deliverability by 10% over November, December, it could be the difference between like tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands more, depending on like the volume transaction amount of people on your list. So protect your reputation to maximize open rates. You should be doing that from now, from when this video is dropped. So you want to save full list sends for big moments only. This is just a general theme for any brand. So you don't want to hit your full list all year. You want to reserve that for key product drops and BFCM. This will protect deliverability as a theme, and you also will keep your IP and domain reputation strong. You want to ramp gradually before BFCM. So what I recommend is every third campaign that you send from right now, so let's say you're sending 2 or 3 emails a week, every third campaign, you want to gradually increase the segment. So what I would do is, like, let's say you're always sending to a 60 or 90 day engaged segment, sends to, on the third email, a 120-day engaged segment, and then go back down to 60 or 90, and then go send to a 150-day, and try keep on increasing it. But as a rule, is you never want to double your send overnight. So you might want to sometimes create different segments so you can in order to do that. But if you can see here, you want to start gradually ramping up to trying to engage as many people as possible and get almost close to a full list send before BFCM. Then you just want to dial back. So in your own way, think about ramping gradually before BFCM and trying to like increase the amount of people within your engaged segment, essentially. So like the goal should be to increase your engaged segment by like 10 or 20%. You want to clean your list. You can find that online. It's super easy. Just clean your list before scaling. You want to suppress soft bounces and extremely unengaged profiles over 180 days. This will keep your sender reputation healthy. The main devil is sending to bounced email addresses, so just always make sure you're removing bounces. Final 2 to 4 weeks before your sale, you want to start reintroducing 60 to 90 day engaged segments to just send to people that predictably get 60 to 70% open rates. You want to layer in a pullback day to engage hyper engaged profiles. So it says 90 days here. I would actually just go to 30-day engaged before we start to blast the full list, or really just lock in some like real positive sender reputation. then you want to stagger the sends on the BFCM week execution. Start with most engaged and then progressively widen. So this is when I said, if we go all the way back here, when we start sending here, for example, you've got 2 emails, but it might be 4. 2 of those, morning and evening, you might send one in the morning to your 90-day engaged and then one morning to your full list. And then you want to do the same in the evening. So you always want to send to the engaged first and then to the whole list. It's just a good way of continuously banking good sender reputation when you're sending. And monitor live performance. I would suppress bounces in real time. So if if you're sending to the full list, you might get more bounces. Just filter them out daily. Just make sure you're filtering out them and suppressing them daily. It should take 5 minutes. Honestly, your email team should be on top of that. After BSCM, you want to pull back again. Avoid blasting your list until the next major moment. Reset cadence to engage segment plus fresh acquisition. That's all you need to know around deliverability. Sometimes around segments as well. What I will say is like Klaviyo, and again, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I think the Klaviyo team, they're a big VC-backed company. So they hire loads of marketing people that recommend that you do like 20 different segments: window shoppers, VIP window shoppers, VIP window shoppers who have a dog who have purchased this much. It's just overkill. It's not realistic. You want engaged segments. You want to understand your VIP purchases. You want to understand people who have never purchased before. These are the key segments that you want. If someone's purchased and then you escalate an offer, you want to make sure that you're filtering them out on next sends. Otherwise, you want to be sending 90 days, full list, 90 days, full list. And as simple as that, really. Like, you don't want to be over baking this and create VIPs and early access segments and start sending to them first. And then you can have within VIP and early access maybe a subsect of all of them and engage VIP early access. But by virtue of it, VIP, all of them should be engaged anyway. So you shouldn't have to worry too much about that. If you've got any questions, drop me a comment. I will respond back to every comment and give you all of the insight that I know. So don't be afraid. Pop-up and list growth. For about all of our brands now, we're using Alia. On average, we're getting like 15% signups plus. What we'll probably do is we'll start to do a Alia VIP early access pop-up as well. And we'll get them all onto the early access segment. So we'll say like our biggest sales event is coming in 2 weeks, countdown timer, sign up now to get early access and exclusive email deals. That's going to cook really nicely, especially as people you're probably going to be ramping ads a little bit prior to this period. You want to be getting as many of them as possible on your list. Don't compromise. Go get something like Alia or try and recreate a similar UX within Klaviyo. A lot of brand owners who don't quite get this go, like, does UX really make a difference? Yeah, it really makes a difference. Like, it's impressive. That's why we do it for all of our brands, like, seriously. So do that. And what I'd recommend with the pop-ups when you've actually dropped the sales site-wide is really they're not going to be behind email. For the most part, they're already going to be on your website. So what you want to do is make the pop-up on your website during the Black Friday actual sales window more aggressive. So someone comes to your website, within a second, the sign-up form comes up. It goes, sign up to get Black Friday deals. So people aren't even going to see the sales first. They're going to be like, oh shit, I need to sign up to their emails first in order to get that. And that way, then they can start to get abandoned cart emails, post-purchase emails, and other campaigns as well. And you're probably going to get more LTV out of that customer. So you really want to maximize that. And that's a really good veteran tactic from us. Email is extremely powerful as long as list growth is constant. We need to be smart about how and why we target different groups of people during these important months, new traffic and potential customers, general brand building approach, and highly effective pop-up. Welcome them in whilst making the Q4 offer super clear in the amended. So what I would also say is if people do sign up to the Q4 early access pop-up, you want to maybe curate 2 to 3 welcome emails for them, fresh welcome emails, maybe a plain text and just 2 to prime them as well. That's a key one. That's a key one as well. You don't necessarily, yeah. So that's a key detail there. And again, if you've got any questions around that, let me know. All of these are, by the way, our brands that work with us. None of this is just taken from the internet. That's why you won't see these anywhere else. Existing subscribers, we want to use successful pop-up setups to target them in a variety of segments, recognize the relationships segments have with us, because oftentimes, obviously, we're creating zero-party data as well. So you still want to keep these as well. This is the only other extra segment you might want to lean into during Black Friday. But for the most part, I actually don't recommend, like, this zero-party data is awesome, But during BFCM, I really wouldn't bother too much. You're not going to be leaning into angles as much. The offers are the angles. It's just sexy emails, offers, making it clear, hitting it regularly. Don't overcomplicate all of your zero-party data during these 2 months. I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's my personal take. And obviously, brand giveaways. We do this for a lot of our brands. We do crossovers and giveaways. It's a great way of supercharging each other and borrowing with lists, borrowing each other's email lists. But now's the time to do it. So if you want to surge and get more people into your email list during before Black Friday, now's the time to do it. But within a month's time, October time, you're probably going to start to get a bit too late to strike up these deals and partnerships. But if you want to work with Oraseed, we've got quite a lot of brands within our syndicate, our private network, and we're always doing cross-pollinating different deals and introducing brands to each other, and they're doing giveaways with each other. Here are some examples here. And they're, sometimes growing their list by like 5 to 10,000 people per giveaway. It's really, really cool. And they turn into it really has a clear correlation between revenue. So these brand collaborations work really nicely prior to BFCM as well. So guys, that's everything you probably need to think about at the moment. Naturally, there's going to be nuances for your particular brand. So if you do have any specific questions around that, let us know. Just drop us a comment. I'll respond back to everyone. And if you want to have a little consultation or a call with me and maybe inquire a bit about Oraseed and having us do all of this for you as well, go onto the website, watch our video. We'll give you a free welcome email. We'll also give you a free audit, and we'll give you a custom Q4 strategy proposal. And hopefully we can help you break some records this year and have some fun along the way doing it, working with people who truly love scaling brands. We exist to make other brands money. That's why we exist. We absolutely love it. So if we can work with you, it'd be an absolute pleasure. And if not, just keep on tuning into the next video, like and subscribe, and we'll have more content coming soon. Take care for now. Bye.